Welcome to Avi's Kosher Kitchen. It's me, and we have another fun, jam-packed adventure in store just for you. We are making this. This is a lamb brisket. Now, before I get to how we're going to do it and all about it, I'm going to do what I neglected to do in the last video I shot, and I really felt bad about it. So I'm going to make up for it in this video. I'm going to say l'chaim. I've got a beautiful ice cold beer. I'm outside here in the back 40 of my estate, and I got the grill going. I've got the beer happening. So let's get to it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shakol niyeh b'doro. Oh, that is delicious. Nothing like an ice cold beer on a warm summer day. Now, I got my grill here. We're gonna look at it really quick. I've got, just so you can see here, 3 burners. 1 burner, 2 burner, 3 burners. This burner and this burner, they're off, not on. This burner is on high, and in this box, I've got some nice apple chips. Okay, they're gonna get going, and they're gonna provide a smoky environment in here for my little friend, the lamb brisket. Okay, this is courtesy of our friends over at KOL Foods. Now, you know, I've been talking about them for years, and this is a phenomenal product. 100% grass-fed, pastured. They are raised with no antibiotics, no growth hormones. It is arguably, in my opinion, the healthiest meat in America. And of course, well taken care of. Now, we're gonna start with doing a little bit of seasoning. Now, on a lamb brisket, you can see it's small, and on the back end, we've got bones right here on the underneath side, okay? A traditional beef brisket, you know, doesn't have the bones, they're cut off, then you get them as beef ribs and stuff like that. So this is a little bit different, and when we see it done, and at the end of it, you're gonna go, wow, I want that in my belly now. All right, first the seasoning. I have here some kosher salt. Guess what, this kosher salt, over the shoulder, but I'm gonna skip it. Usually I put a little bit of salt on the meat. Lamb brisket, for some reason, and the way they kosher it, remember any kind of kosher meat you buy is a sort of pre-brined, where it's got been salted to draw out blood. So this particular cut generally is a little bit salty to begin with, so I'm gonna forego the salt. A little bit of granulated garlic here, okay, on both sides. Granulated garlic I love. It's not so much of a flavor enhancer, but in any kind of meat or poultry, one of the things that it really does nicely is it takes any of that, if there's any gaminess or anything else like that, it'll take it out and absorb it. Now, I've got my famous Avi's spice rub. Want to know how to make it? Let's flash back and see. Put a little kosher salt to start off. That's always my base. Okay, a little granulated garlic in here. Okay, a little smoked paprika. Okay, a little brown sugar. Brown sugar, by the way, when it's on there, it caramelizes really nicely on things. A little something unexpected, which is a little cinnamon. Okay, really nice on lamb and on red meat. Just a hint, you don't want to overpower, and just a touch of celery seed. Celery seed can give it a little bit of a flavor there in the back of your throat that you don't expect. Just simple to mix this up. Cover it with your container and shake, baby. You can dance, you can shake it. Okay, so there you go. That was one example. Here I know I've got some nice smoked paprika, some cinnamon, some cardamom, a few other tricks up my sleeve in here, and some celery seed in here too. Also gives kind of a nice smokiness to it, right over the whole brisket on the top. We're gonna flip it here. Same thing on the underneath side. And you could just, if you could smell the combination of the smoked paprika and the cinnamon in this, oh, it's delicious. Now, I want to get a lot of this rub on it, so we're going to just use everything I have here. Okay, put that in here. Now, you're going to see, I got one more thing here. By the way, before I tell you what this is, you don't want to go to the trouble of making the rub. I've got 2 great rubs that I like to use when hey, I don't have any laying around of my own, or I need to just do something quickly. The first is Bubby's Secret Seasonings, beautiful. This one is for beef, but for me, great on lamb. And also for my buddy Mendel Siegel, he's over at the Backyard Barbecue in Florida, in Surfside, Florida. The Rabbi Q steak seasoning, also really, really nice. So you're in a jam, you don't want to go through the whole bit of making stuff, you got some go-tos right there. Now, I've got here some organic turbinado sugar, okay? Really, really nice, goes in and melts it. You can use brown sugar, dark brown sugar, light brown sugar if you want a little molasses. Some people will use a little pure maple syrup, although that'll kind of drip off a little bit, so I stay away from that. I like the sugar because the sugar goes right on top and it slowly melts into the meat. You don't want to overdo it with the sugar. This is not not meant to be candy, but it will candy the ribs. It'll give it a little candied flavor. Now, what I'm smelling coming from behind me is those wood chips starting to go. They're starting to get happy. Here's the secret. We're going to take this, I'm going to place it on the grill, and I'm going to just check it about every half hour, 45 minutes to just replace wood chips to keep a little bit of a smoky environment. Now, if you don't want to do the smoke, no problem. You don't have a grill, you can do the same technique right on a grill pan in your oven. But what you want to do is go low and slow with the heat. This is not something that you're going to, I'm grilling a steak and I really want to get that thing, charred and all like that. No, low and slow. Let the seasoning do its work. At the end, we're going to put on some of my bourbon barbecue sauce just to kick it up, and that's it. So look, actually, let me show you what I'm going to do. There's my brisket. Okay, here we go. Grill ready. Okay, I could just smell the smoke starting on those chips. And here we go. Brisket right on this side. This side of the grill here is my cold side. Heat coming from here. Low and slow. The heat will circulate around. And what we're going to find in probably 3 to 4 hours, well, you'll find it out pretty quick, but in 3 to 4 hours, we're going to see that lamb brisket is just, the fat is melted into the meat. That sugar is melted right in with the seasonings. We're going to glaze it up with the bourbon barbecue sauce, and I'm going to tell you, you're going to cut those ribs up, and you'll have what they say, Tam Gan Eden, a taste of the Garden of Eden right in your mouth. So, hang in there. Well, you don't have to hang in there, because as soon as I snap my fingers, I'll be back with the finished product. I have to hang in here now for about 3 or 4 hours and just babysit this thing. So here we go. Okay, it's been 3-4 hours. I don't know. I lost track. I was just relaxing, and the lamb has been going. I wasn't really relaxing. I was replenishing a couple of the wood chips a little bit from time to time, but it's done. I'm turning off the heat on the grill. Remember, lamb's on this side, and there is no heat on that side. All indirect. And look at this. Look at this. Beautiful. Now, one of the things that I did just before I came back here, took a little bit of my bourbon barbecue sauce. Remember, I mentioned that earlier. And by the way, you want to know how to make the bourbon barbecue sauce? I've got a link down here to my bourbon pulled brisket. So I had brushed a little bit on just towards the end, just to give it a little bit of glaze, kick it up. Now, all we're going to do is, you see there's bones here. You're going to just cut gently between the bones, plate it, and you're good to go. So look at this. Beautiful lamb brisket, bone in, cut between the bones after we smoked it and let it just get happy. By the way, remember, you don't have a smoker, you don't have a grill, you can do it in the oven, no problem. It's going to come out great, just low and slow. That's the big deal. Okay, I want to thank my friends over at KOL Foods for giving us this delicious pastured lamb. Remember, no growth hormones, no antibiotics, all good stuff. Out there in the pasture, just living a happy life. And then, as I always say, we get to eat them. At any rate, until next time, happy eating and l'chaim.